15 years.
Phenomenal.
You know what's great? The Dodgers game last night.
Yeah,
that was pretty fun and awesome.
Dodgers beat those stinking scumbag Padres.
Thank you, Padres, for bringing out that intensity.
Dude, the ballpark was packed.
Wasn't it, though?
What else is there to do in San Diego?
Quite a bit, actually.
Oh, yeah, there is, but...
It was... You've been to Petco Park.
Yeah.
Okay, so down the right field line, way up high by the scoreboard up there, those seats are almost never full. That's the worst seat in the house at Petco, in my opinion. Like, way down the right field line, all the way up by the scoreboard, there wasn't an empty seat in the house.
Wow.
It was packed. It had... This almost never happens. And you've seen me, and I can tell you're disappointed in me occasionally. You're like, hey, this is a big deal. I'm like, no, not really. Right? In baseball games.
Okay, yeah.
But last night had playoff energy from the top of the first inning. From the first pitch of that game, that had an intensity to it that is super rare in regular season baseball. The only time you get something like that is maybe in September as you're getting close to the end of the line and you're jockeying to win a division. That game was the Dodgers are either going to have a 2-game lead or they're going to be tied with 90 games to go. Who cares?
The energy was so strong.
It
you
was
can actually see
energy.
it on the screen. It was there. It was definitely there. So you may not see them as a rival, but you need them to bring out the best in you.
I think that's right.
Yeah, because they did not want to lose that game.
Neither
They did
team.
everything right.
You could see both pitchers when they're pumping their fists, they're screaming, they're yelling. There was an intensity that was very unusual.
So I give Dustin May a lot of credit for getting to the fifth. I know a lot of people are on his neck
You're
for
gonna
how
have
he
to sell
pitched,
me on this.
But dude, I mean, the one thing you did not want to do against them or against anyone is tax your bullpen, especially when your bullpen is overtaxed. So I know it didn't look great. It wasn't his A+ stuff, but getting to the fifth, give him credit. At least
if the standard for credit is did you go 5 innings, then yes, he passed the test. But that's the only test he passed.
Yeah.
That he's really starting to bug me for lack of a
really?
Yeah,
okay.
because his stuff is so nasty. Right? He throws 96, 97 miles an hour. The ball goes both ways with wild, crazy movement.
Potential to be filthy.
He is filthy. Yet he doesn't strike anybody out. And he walks too many guys.
Last night he did.
You cannot walk people in Major League Baseball unless you're also striking out a million guys. And you know who walks a lot of guys? Blake Snell. But Blake Snell gets a lot of guys to strike out, too. Yeah. Blake Snell gets a lot of guys to chase. So that's the one – and even he walks too many guys. But that's the one scenario where you can get guys to kind of go out of their comfort zone. Dustin May falls behind way too often. I don't care how nasty you are. If a major league hitter is 1-0, 2-1, 3-1, they're gonna hit you.
You're gonna have problems.
And he was nibbling all night long. Like I'm gonna mix the streams here a little bit. Tony Gonsolin does not have the stuff that Dustin May has, but Tony Gonsolin attacks the strike zone. That's why he gives up 1 million home runs. But they're mostly solo home runs. He can stay in games a long time because there's not a lot of guys on base. Guys will hit the ball hard against him every once in a while. But May is ball 4, spiked a pitch, broken bat hit, then barreled up. There's traffic all over the place. He just won't attack the strike zone. And you saw, so the first 3 innings where he gave up the 6 runs, right? He was all over the map.
Yes.
And then you could almost
all over the map.
You could almost tell it's he went into F it mode. Like, I don't have it tonight. F it. I'm just going to let it rip. Guess what happened? He started mowing guys down.
Right. That's what I give him. I love the way he finished.
He needs to start like that. He needs to walk out there in the first inning in F it mode. And I know that they were talking about it because he had 2 injuries. He nearly died with that esophageal tear that he had. Like, he's had some real health stuff.
Ruined me on romaine lettuce forever.
You're not kidding. And I'm sympathetic to that. But, dude, attack the strike zone. Your stuff is good. Oral Hershiser talks about this all the time. He said it to you and me. He says it on the broadcast. Throw the ball to the middle of the plate and trust your movement to take it to an edge. Trust that your stuff is good enough to get guys out. And his absolutely is, but if you're walking guys, if you're putting guys on base, if you've got 70 pitches in the 4th inning, we're doing this wrong.
I would hate to find out I had no movement and I threw something over the plate.
Yeah, but he does have movement.
The only way to find out it's going to land wet somewhere.
So what? It's one thing.
True.
And his ball does move. It's not a will it move. Yeah. It does.
But I give him props for getting that steaming pile over the finish line because it could have been worse. It could have been worse, a lot worse, and you could have taxed the bullpen, and you could have lost at the same time.
I'll put it to you this way.
Yeah.
If that's what he's giving you, you can't not use him in big games because he's going to put you behind the 8 ball.
Very true. Now, that's something you can talk about later when all these guys come back, but I would bet he's going to be a part of your postseason rotation.
Right now, he would have to be, but if he continues to put guys on base without hitting their way on, he will not be. Because Yamamoto does not walk. This is why Sasaki is not a finished product. This is why Sasaki is kind of scary. He walks too many people. You got to. This is why Kershaw, despite all of his other flaws at this point in his career, he doesn't really walk a lot of guys. He attacks the strike zone for the most part. Yamamoto pumps strikes.
Yeah.
Glasnow, when he pitches, pumps strikes. Ohtani pumps a bunch of strikes.
Isn't he throwing today?
Who?
Show.
Is it
I
one
thought
of his side work days?
I think he's side work today again.
Yeah.
Another tease. Come on.
May was. You're right. Like he got them enough to at least give them a little bit of breathing room.
Right.
Yeah, their bullpen's good. If you could just take a little of that pressure off, and instead of having to pitch Vezia, Banda, Trine, like all these guys every day, if you could pitch them every other day, that would be nice.
Yeah.
But when you
didn't your crush pitch well? Aren't you Banda guy?
He pitched great. 2 innings. He never does that.
Kim got a hit. He's batting 400
right
now.
No,
yeah,
I mean he gets a hit every game.
Leave him in. Yes,
his on base percentage is over 400. He's been terrific since he was supposed to be a temporary solution until guys started to get healthy again, and he played too well. They couldn't send him back down. He's been great. He's been good since he's gotten here.
I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, like you said, I agree. I think this is actually your lineup. I would like to move around Ohtani if possible, as long as I don't ruin the magic.
Yeah, I mean that's always part of. You don't want to ruin.
But you have to be. You can't be afraid not to ruin that because you may get something better.
That's not why you don't move him out of the one hole. The reason you leave at the one hole is it's where the most at bats are.
Fair.
The reason you leave him at one is because that at bats over the course of a season, he's going to get about 15 more than Mookie, who's going to get 15 more than Freddie.
I want him up more than anyone, but if I can get more RBI out of him by moving him, why wouldn't you? Especially when your pitching staff is. You may have to outscore people.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see how yesterday they got a little bit lucky. They had not one, not two, but like 3 things really go their way in the last couple innings. That left fielder for the Padres, it wasn't Cronin where there's Morehouse or something like that. That was as bad of a route as you're going to see to a ball in Major League Baseball. The one Pajas hit over his head.
I'm glad you said that.
Oh, my God.
Was it a bad route? Or it got
Horrible.
on him? It got on him quick,
No.
though.
So there's a Little League thing you teach your kids. C's, not L's. Okay? We go to the ball in the shape of a C.
Yeah.
If you're making L's, you're doing it wrong, and that dude made an L.
Okay.
It's as simple. You don't go like this. You
I think we
round
said banana
it off.
route. Yeah, okay. That
Banana
makes
routes.
sense.
C's, not L's.
Okay. It still got him quick.
You could see it on his face. You could see it on. That's a ball that 100% has to be caught.
It needs to be caught.
It needs to be. At worst, it is a ball in front of you because you misread it. The boy, you can't nothing over your head in that situation, right? That's the rule. So he tanks that. Dodgers get a little lucky there. What happens right after? Edman hits a ball that hits the bag.
Right.
That doesn't
ricochets.
It's probably a hit.
Yeah.
But it's not a run scoring hit.
That's got to be a hit. That's right up. That's going to get through, right?
No, I think the shortstop probably gets it, but he's not going to throw Edman out.
I saw him make the attempt.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But the second it hits a bag, the run comes in. It's all good there.
Yeah.
Then you get the call on Machado. That was
man.
Yikes, man! It was great because it was Machado, and Machado got all hot and bothered. It was terrific.
It caught the whisper of the corner, maybe, and it was up. And it was up.
That's the part, DeMarco. That it not just was a ball because it was outside. It was a ball because it was outside. It was a ball because it was high. It was a ball because it was high and outside.
And oh my God!
And that's why he got so mad.
I would love to hear what he really said in that moment.
I can tell you. Are you effing kidding me? You can't be this effing bad. This is too effing important. You need to wake the F up.
Oh,
that's what he said in so many words.
That's a hard punch out there. Come on.
I love that the umpire had the camera on his mask last night, and when Machado, all you could see was the San Diego logo of his helmet.
Right,
it was
there.
terrific.
More of that, please.
That was it's a good break.
Luck favors the well prepared.
What do you think you get tonight?
You know what? I would bet the Padres. They wanted to win that game. You could tell by the way he managed that he was really trying. It was a playoff atmosphere.
It was.
And they didn't get the win. So I would expect the same intensity. I don't know if the Dodgers are going to bring it twice.
I do not think, for whatever reason, I don't think you're going to get another game like last night. Felt like a playoff game.
Right.
Those don't come around very often.
And it's over, you lost.
Yeah,
you
Dodgers have a bullpen game today.
Right.
So they're going to have a new pitcher in there every other inning or every inning. I think it's going to be one of those. Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it, but it's not going to have that buzz.
Tonight, okay, win the series, though. Because when's the last time you won a series?
The Dodgers?
Yes. Cardinals, no. Mets.
They beat the Yankees.
They beat the Yankees.
They split with the Mets and beat the Yankees.
It's time to start getting that trend going again, not losing series.
Yeah.
And you're almost through this winning team stretch here.
Not really.
Who's coming next?
The Giants, who are a game behind, and then you get the Padres again, and then you get the Diamondbacks after that.
Giants take care of itself. It's a rivalry. Padres will bring the heat, so you bring the same heat there. I think they're doing okay. We talked about this stretch and what it would look like after.
They're about 500 through this
They're
stretch.
about
I think
500.
they're one game over.
Which ain't horrible.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pick it. I'd like to be something better, but it ain't horrible. It's not going the other way. It's not trending down.
I want to get emotional about it. They're playing with. They're not using their best guys on the mound. They're unavailable. They're one of their guys that I can, assuming health, that is going to pitch in the postseason is pitching for him right now. It's Yamamoto. That's it.
So I keep saying, isn't Show going to pitch right now?
Yeah, but he's not pitching right now.
I know.
Yeah. That Yamamoto's the only guy that pitches now, then, and down the line. Snell will be there. Glasnow, we'll see.
We'll hope.
Ohtani will be there.
Oh, Show.